So the new Nintendo Direct just happened recently, and I thought it was pretty good overall. Reception online has been pretty mixed. There were a lot of pretty cool things revealed, although it was mostly just games we've known about already, and just giving us like some more info on stuff we already know about. So yeah, I'm gonna go through each of the announcements and give my thoughts on each game. Let's get right into it. Alright, so first up, the Splatoon 3 Expansion Pass Wave 2 Side Order, coming in spring 2024. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to play this new single player story content. I didn't buy Wave 1 since that's really just the town from the original Splatoon coming back, and this is just a cosmetic change, which I guess is cool if you've played that, but I don't really care for that, and this is just for the story, and the gameplay does look pretty interesting. So it seems like you can set color chips in your palette, similar to the badges in Super Mario Bros. Wonder. These give you certain powers or advantages, like they can increase your splash damage, up your run speed, and other things. And there's several categories you can set, like power, support, range, and mobility. It seems like this is mostly like a colorless gray world, and I think you need to like fill it with color and like defeat the enemies, and there's probably bosses too. So according to the Nintendo website, Side Order features Inkopolis Square from Splatoon 2, and we will get to see what has become of it. It seems like a lot has changed based on the lack of color and lots of enemies. I also haven't played Splatoon, so I don't know a ton about that. I'm a bit unsure what Side Order is really all about, but they did show off a little bit more than last time, which is nice. They said this is about strengthening your character's abilities, which is really reminds me of Magler's Epilogue in Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, where you get more powerful over time, and it's set in the Spire of Order, and you would have to ascend the floors. It's like a tower, basically. It has waves of levels and enemies, and you have to beat each floor to progress, and I'm pretty sure each floor is more difficult than the last. This is honestly a pretty cool concept, and it'll be interesting to see how good this will be. I haven't finished the original story mode of Splatoon 3 yet, but I do want to try and beat it sometime before the DLC releases, and I really should play the Splatoon 3 more often, but I just don't play it for a while sometimes, but it's really fun. Next up, Mario vs. Donkey Kong, coming out in February 2024. So, this is a game that was actually leaked before the Direct, in a way, and lots of people were talking about it. At first, I thought this was a new Mario vs. Donkey Kong game, but actually this is a remake of the original game on GBA, which I didn't realize initially. I will say, the art style, it does look pretty good, but I think this is mostly just a visual remake of the game. There's not like a ton added. And somehow this is like $50, even though Metroid Prime Remastered was $40, and that seems to have way more effort in it. But then again, it carries the Mario name, so they know they can charge more for it and people will still buy it. Yeah, the game looks fine overall. I'm sure it's probably fun. I think people like the original game for the most part. But let's be real, like, no one wanted this, honestly. Like, really they could have just added the original game to GBA Online for free, and everyone's a brand new Donkey Kong game. Like, that would just be so much nicer to have a new Donkey Kong game. Like, the Switch still hasn't had a completely original Donkey Kong game at all. Just ports and remakes, you know. Tropical Freeze was from the Wii U, and then this is a remake of the GBA game. Plus, I don't think anyone really likes the minifigures, the minis, whatever they're called. But at least I've heard the first game is a lot better than its sequels, so since this game was a spiritual successor to Donkey Kong 94, I think it would have been cooler to remake that, as that is a really cool game with a lot of content, and expands upon the original Donkey Kong in a lot of ways, and I think it would benefit more from a remake since it was in the original Game Boy. And yeah, the goal of this game is just go through the stages and collect the mini toys. It seems like a puzzle platformer. More emphasis is put on the puzzle part though. I think this will be a good game, but I'm gonna pass on this. It just doesn't seem worth $50 to be honest. Next up, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, coming out in January next year for $50. Yeah, this game looks like a pretty good 2D platformer. The graphics, they look pretty good. There's some cool powers and abilities and amulets that boost your abilities. Again, these are kind of like the badges in Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Plus, it has some big boss fights with like mythical beasts. The game looks pretty good. I don't think I'm gonna buy this though. I'll wait and see. Maybe if it reviews really well, I might buy it, because I do love 2D platformers, you know, especially Mario, but just 2D platforms in general, and I haven't really played anything Prince of Persia, but maybe this game will be worth getting. I don't know. Next up, Horizon Chase 2, actually out now for $20 on sale, or $25 when the sale ends. This is an arcade-style racing game. The graphics look pretty good for the most part. I do like the different racing environments, but that's about it. You can also upgrade your cars and play couch co-op or online play. I have heard, like apparently in the footage, it's like really laggy at some parts, especially with like the 4-player split screen, so that's not good, but I don't know. And this reminds me a lot of Asphalt 9, which like that's a good game, but it's also like free to play, and I lost interest in it a while ago. I felt the interface and like the upgrades were kind of confusing. This is not free to play though, so yeah, it's $20 on sale right now, which seems like a lot, honestly. Like this game looks like something that would be free to play, or at least like $5 to $10 max. I don't know, maybe there'll be more content than we've seen so far, but like I'm definitely passing on this. Super Crazy Rhythm Castle. So this is a rhythm game, looks pretty unique with several different ways of playing, like not just pressing buttons with the beat, although that seems to be the main focus here still, like with a lot of rhythm games. It has music from Konami games, which is nice to have a good variety of music, and it has multiplayer, so it could be fun to play with some friends. Yeah, I'll pass on this, so I'm not really a fan of rhythm games, and I usually suck at them, plus, I don't know, Konami, I'm not really super big into them. If it was like Nintendo, I'd be more likely, but I'm good. Next up, Spy X Anya, Operation Memories. So, I was actually really surprised to see a game based on the Spy X Family anime here. This actually looks pretty cool. The art style matches the anime very well, although this is now in a playable 3D environment. And the goal of this game is that Anya gets an assignment to create a photo diary, so you can go around the world of Spy X Family and take pictures of things. This reminds me of Pokemon Snap. There's probably other games though where you take pictures of things, so I don't know. I don't really know how fun this gameplay will be though, but I am very intrigued, and I'm sure it'll be cool just like run around in the world of the anime and just being able to interact with the characters and everything. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for this, and I might buy it when it releases sometime next year. I don't think, for anyone who isn't a fan of the anime, I don't think it would be worth it, because the gameplay, I'm unsure if it will be that fun as you're just taking pictures, but like, if you like the anime, which I love the anime, Spy X Family is great, I say will probably be worth it, just to be in the world and talk with the characters. That just seems pretty cool. Super Mario RPG. So, they showed off the previously announced Super Mario RPG remake here, some more with some new footage. The graphics look really good. They kept this unique art style, but they changed it from pixelated to HD visuals, which is cool. Mario still has that chibi look to him, and there's new action commands. When you time your attacks perfectly, you can damage all the enemies at once, so that might make the game easier, but who knows, maybe they balanced it to make it still hard. I don't know. And there's a gauge to charge and unleash a 3-character triple move, and you can also rematch against the bosses after beating the game with tougher battles. So, it seems overall this is just like a visual remake of Super Mario RPG, with just like a few features added. I never actually played this one, so I am kind of excited to play through this and see if it's as good as everyone says it is. Another Code Recollection. So this is a collection of 2 enhanced mystery adventures released on the DS and the Wii. The story sounds interesting, and it's kind of mysterious. It's cool, like one of the games in this, I think the Wii one, was never actually released in America, so it's nice that they're releasing that for the first time in this collection. I honestly had never heard of either of these games before this direct. The art style looks very good, it's kind of like an anime style. There's some puzzles and obstacles for you to solve as she investigates her missing dad. But I don't think I'll buy this. It doesn't really seem like my type of game, plus $60 is a bit much. I don't know. For some people it might be worth it, and it is 2 remastered games, so maybe it'll be good, and the story seems intriguing, but the gameplay, I don't know about. Princess Peach Showtime, releasing in March next year. This game was awesome, honestly. This is like the game I'm second most excited for right now behind Super Mario Bros. Wonder, so it's so awesome to finally see Peach starring in her own game. It's been a long time since Super Princess Peach on the DS, and the graphics and art style of this game, they look really great, honestly. There's a new villain, or maybe villains, I think there's multiple, something like that. There's other characters that are really coolly designed, and it's just so refreshing to see so much new stuff in a Mario-like game. So you can use a new helper character, Stella. Use Stella's ribbon. Peach can have a bunch of powers, kind of like Rosalina's spin in Super Mario 3D World, like spinning and attacking enemies. Peach can also use Stella to transform into a bunch of other things, like Sword Fighter Peach. This looks really cool. And this just gives her new abilities. The different worlds really distinct. They have very interesting themes. Peach's outfit and powers also seem to match each world. Detective Peach is pretty cool. So it seems like this will not just be platforming and attacking enemies, but there will probably be a good variety of gameplay. There's also the Patisserie Peach, I think that's how it's pronounced. We can make like frosting and stuff, not sure what that's about. And there's Kung Fu Peach, which is a really cool themed world, and now Peach can kick and punch the enemies. Yeah, it just seems there'll probably be a lot of like really unique worlds and a lot of content and power-ups, just like a whole lot of variety in the gameplay. Honestly, I can't wait to play this. This reminds me of Super Mario Bros. Wonder with like so many combinations of wonder effects, and this is a lot of Peach transformations and a lot of cool looking worlds, and I'm very excited to play this and see all the worlds and Peach transformations. Saga Emerald Beyond. So yeah, this just looks like this is an RPG. The art style looks nice. The characters seem to be kind of interesting people. There's 17 worlds, so a lot of content here, but I'll pass. I don't know anything about the series, so yeah. Tomb Raider 1 through 3 remastered starring Lara Croft. So yeah, unfortunately I've never played Tomb Raider before. I know it's really popular and it's iconic, and it's really cool to see these games get remastered and put on the Switch for people to play. But I will say, it doesn't look like much of a remaster, honestly. They don't really look that good, the new visuals. It kind of looks like a Wii game, which for 2023 is pretty rough. It has a cheap look to it, but it has all 3 games and secret levels and expansions, so I guess it is nice to get content like that bundled in all in one place, and you can toggle between the original and upgraded visuals, which is a nice one. I will say though, the trailer was just confusing, like it switched between the new visuals and the old visuals, and a lot of time you couldn't really tell, is this old or new visuals, and if you can't tell the difference between the two, that's not a good sign. That just shows it's not really that much better, so I don't know about this. It looks a little bit rough. Detective Pikachu returns. This is another game. It seems kind of cool, but I'm just really not that interested in it. Rhyme City looks kind of cool. The graphics, they're alright, but it kind of looks like a 3DS game. I mean, the original game was on 3DS, so yeah, doesn't look super great. And the goal is just to investigate like different cases with Pikachu and search for Tim's missing father. And you can use other Pokemon to help with your investigations. This is a nice way to incorporate more Pokemon. Yeah, this might be a decent to good game. And it's nice that it's finally coming out because it was announced so long ago, but I'll pass. It seems more like a game for kids. I don't know. Trombone Champ. This game is actually out now. So this is a rhythm game. There's like different methods to hit the notes of the songs. You can use gyro controls or even the IR motion camera to move around the pitch up and down and hit the notes. It's really cool to see a game actually use the IR camera. Not many games do that. Even the new WarioWare game does too, which is cool. And this definitely seems like a pretty unique game in terms of controls. The music so far, it just mostly seems like classical music, or maybe it's just music in the public domain, because I guess that way I don't have to really pay for it, which is kind of lame, but whatever, I guess if you like that, it's fine. And it has local multiplayer, so you can make even more obnoxious sounds, I guess if you really want to, with friends. Yeah, it seems decent. $15 seems a bit much. Although my main thoughts when I saw this, this seems like a spiritual successor to Wii Music, honestly. Which is not really a good thing, because Wii Music was kind of bad, from what I've heard. Like, the trombone playing and the Mii-like character, they just really remind me of that. Like, I don't know, it's just kind of funny. Maybe, I guess it's gonna be fun and chaotic in multiplayer, but it just doesn't seem worth it to me, honestly. Battle Crush. All caps, apparently. Battle Crush seems like an interesting online battle royale game. There's 15 different heroes you can choose from. They're based on different mythology. That's pretty cool. Mythology is very interesting. And this is free to play. It makes sense for this type of game, but I'll probably maybe play this once and then probably never play it again, so it looks fine. It's whatever. War Tales. Another RPG. It looks boring. I don't really like the art style. It's realistic, kind of bland looking. It looks complicated. Contra Operation Galaga. Not Galaga, Galuga. Why is it called that? I don't know. I've never really played Contra before. I should. This looks alright. It seems like this could be a pretty good multiplayer game, and maybe you can pick it up and play for a bit and just run and shoot a bunch of enemies. I think this is a remake of the NES game, but I'm not really sure if this is a new game. I don't know. Why do they call it Galuga? It sounds just like Galaga. That's just weird. Unicorn Overlord. Yeah, I don't have anything to say for this. It's just another RPG. I don't really care about it. It looks fine, I guess. There's just too many RPGs. I like some RPGs, but a lot of them just are not for me. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, coming out next summer, December 2024. It seems like for some reason they changed the name from Dark Moon HD to now just 2 HD, so maybe this means they'll port the original Luigi's Mansion sometime in the future, I guess. The graphics look pretty good, but definitely not as good as Luigi's Mansion 3. And yeah, I really should play a Luigi's Mansion game sometime, to be honest. I like how it's not just contained to one mansion here instead of like several different locations. That's pretty cool, and it's nice that it has online multiplayer as well. The Nintendo Museum. The construction is supposed to be completed by March 2024. So when I first saw this, I thought it was Mario Galaxy related for some reason. It's like, wait, are they adding Galaxy 2 to Switch? No, of course not. Because the music was from Super Mario Galaxy, but it was completely unrelated, so whatever, that's fine, I guess. It would be nice to have Galaxy 2 on the Switch, but that's besides the point. It is really cool, though, that they're finally making an official Nintendo museum. There's so much, awesome, interesting Nintendo history out there. I definitely won't be able to visit this since, well, it's in Japan. I don't live in Japan. I can't travel to Japan. It's far away. You know, you get it. But I'll probably watch YouTube videos on it when it releases, if that's the thing. But it's just a nice thing to have. New amiibo. So there's Zelda and Ganondorf from Tears of the Kingdom, Noah and Mio from Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and then Sora from Smash Ultimate. It's cool Nintendo still makes amiibo, and it's just nice to see more Tears of the Kingdom amiibos. I already have the Link amiibo though. I don't really need more amiibos, but it's cool. Especially, it's just funny. All the other Toys to Life brands died years ago, but you know, amiibos still going. That's cool. F-Zero 99. This was really unexpected. People have been expecting the F-Zero remaster for quite a while. It's not that, but this does seem really fun. I haven't played it yet, but it's already out right now, free for Switch Online members. We're gonna try to play this soon, probably. Maybe I'll have played this by the time this is released, I don't know. And it still has the graphics from the SNES, but now you can race against a ton of people, well, 98 other people, you know? There's a power meter, when it depletes you get out, so there's a lot of strategy involved to winning. There's like a bunch of different stuff you can do, try to avoid running into people. It seems like it will be pretty tough, but it looks fun. Really smart of Nintendo to make more 99 games, and it's just really a shame Super Mario Bros. 35 isn't around anymore. Tetris 99 is just really fun. Mario 35 was fun. Pac-Man 99 is shutting down for some reason. Next up was 2 League of Legends games. So Bandle Tale, League of Legends Story. Yeah, I've never played or cared about League of Legends. These story games though, they have a nice art style. That's pretty much all I can say about it. This first one reminds me of how Stardew Valley looks. And then Song of Nunu, also a League of Legends story. This game looks probably better than the one before. Instead of a 16-bit retro pixel art style, this one goes for a more modern look, and the snow looks really good. WarioWare Move It. This game looks really cool. I have never really played much WarioWare before. I should though. I'm probably gonna pick this up though if I can. I really do like motion controls, and this looks like a lot of fun with all the different moves and actions you have to do in the micro games. Party mode is a nice addition too, and there's even a Super Mario Bros. 3 micro game they showed off briefly, which is really cool. Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes. Did I pronounce that wrong? Maybe. I don't care. Yeah, this is another RPG I don't really care for. It's probably fine, I guess. The 2D HD art, like, it looks good, although I feel like the market of, like, HD 2D RPG is just getting a bit oversaturated. Like, there's just a little bit too much, but yeah. Eastward Octopia. So this is a paid DLC for Eastward. I don't know what Eastward is, don't ask me about it. I've never heard of that, but the art looks nice. I feel like most of the games in this direct, even if I don't care about them, they have pretty good art for the most part. So, it seems like a farming sim kind of like Stardew Valley. It looks decent and interesting. You can actually play the DLC separately without getting the main game, which is a pretty smart move because some people might just want to play this. So yeah, it's cool. Wargroove 2. This looks really similar to Advance Wars, like basically like the same thing pretty much. And yeah, I don't care for this. Advance Wars is already on Switch, and I don't really care for Advance Wars, and I don't care for this, so yeah, whatever. Dave the Diver. Yeah, this game seems a little weird. You have to catch fish, and then you can use those to create food for a restaurant. It seems pretty unique. I don't know how fun it is, but yeah. And it's interesting how the underwater part is more like modern graphics, and the restaurant part is more like a pixel art style. So, it looks alright. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass Wave 6. So, yeah, I love the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass DLC. It's been really great, and it's nice to see more of the new and final wave. Honestly, it seems like the possibility of Mario Kart 9 releasing soon in the next few years is becoming more likely. This DLC is finishing up. Mario Kart Tour is stopping new content soon, unfortunately. I do actually like the game, some people don't like the game, but that's beside the point. So, Daisy Circuit looks really good, the water looks great, Luigi and the Daisy statue is nice, and the clouds and the sunset in the back are also pretty. For some reason, they decided to add more characters than they originally promised, which is cool. Obviously, you can't really complain about that. You know, they're adding 4 new characters. Wow. Diddy Kong, Funky Kong, Pauline, and Peachette. The first 3 are great picks for sure. Nice to have more Donkey Kong characters, and Pauline definitely deserves to get in. But come on, let's be real. No one asked for Peachette. Like, she's fine, I guess, but like, do we really need another Peach-like character? We already have Pink Gold Peach, okay? Still better than Pink Gold Peach, but why? Why do we need Peachette? Like, whatever. Like, it's fine. Always good to have more characters, but at least we get 3 great characters, so that's still pretty cool. And I'm just very excited to see what the other final tracks will be. It'll be a much bigger deal since this is very last wave, so there better be a lot of great tracks here, and we'll just have to see, I guess. A new map for Among Us, The Fungal, is supposed to release next month. This is really unexpected. A brand new Among Us map. This time it seems to be outside. Honestly, it just looks awesome. Like, Among Us used to be so fun, especially during COVID. I don't play it as much anymore. Occasionally, like every few months, I might play it a bit. But it's nice they're still giving it more content, even though it's been pretty slow, you know. Not that many maps, but they've added some modes and different stuff, which is always nice. Also, by the way, I just want to add this in real quick while editing, since I recorded this a little while ago. But I've actually been playing Among Us a lot more recently, and it's still a really fun game. And I was surprised, Like, I forgot how much stuff they added, like the account system, and like there's like even like hide and seek mode, and like, you know, they still have the 4 maps, but like it's so nice to be getting a whole new map, and like the game still holds up really well if I was playing with some friends, and it's still a lot of fun. And I was even playing on Switch some more a few days in a row, and like it still works really good on Switch. Like, it's surprising, the controls work really well. Typing is a bit hard, but you can use a USB keyboard, and it works pretty well with that. So yeah, Among Us is definitely not dead. You know, I hadn't played it for quite a while before that, but this new map has gotten me pretty excited, and been playing Among Us more recently, and like, it's a great multiplayer game, you know? Even with randoms, it's still really fun, so very excited for this map. Anyways, back to original me. This map looks really unique and fun. Even has some, like, story lore, I guess if you could call that. Maybe this is a trailer. Like, mushrooms taking over the ship, then crashing into the island. Pretty interesting stuff. Nice art. And there's a bunch of new tasks, like toasting marshmallows, and I'm really excited to see everything that's in this new map. Next up, they showed a sizzle reel of some previously announced things. A lot of these were in the direct already, so I won't talk about them again. Only the ones not in here I will briefly talk about. The Teal Mask DLC for Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. The Pokemon DLC, it looks fine. It looks decent. I was thinking of buying it originally, but honestly, I just fell off from Pokemon Violet like many months ago, so there's really not much point of me going back. It's not a bad game, I don't feel like going back to it, and I had a lot more fun with Pokemon Shield, honestly. The physical version of Pikmin 1 Plus 2. So it's nice, the physical version will finally be out soon. I'm not sure why it took so long, you know, after the digital shadow drop a few months ago. I might get this in the future, but I have to finish Pikmin 4 first, so yeah. Super Mario Bros. Wonder, obviously, I'm super hyped for this game. I think it's going to be amazing, but I've talked about that already. You can check out my video with that, so I'll keep it at that for now. Finally, the one more thing announcement. Really big announcement. Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door seems to be a full-on remake. Yeah, this was really unexpected, and this is a game many people love, have been asking for a long time. For some reason, I was still hoping the one last thing would be Super Mario Odyssey 2, but nope. Maybe on the Switch 2. I don't know, maybe not ever. Hopefully we get an Odyssey 2, but, you know. So, I've only ever played this game a little bit, like on an emulator. I'm pretty excited for this, honestly, even more than Super Mario RPG, because I've heard it's better, and Paper Mario just, like, seems more interesting to me. The art style looks really great, honestly. It has a nice modern look to it. Everything's really pretty, it has a modern looking style, but also keeps, like, the original visual style, so that's nice. Yeah, I don't really have a ton else to say about this. I've never really played this much before, but I'm very excited to see if this game is really as good as people say it is, you know? They only announced it'll come out next year, so we don't know when it'll come out. Hopefully we don't have to wait too long, but this is a really cool announcement. So, was this the greatest Nintendo Direct of all time? No, of course not. Not even close. Was it horrible? No, it definitely wasn't. I think overall, this was pretty good, although there wasn't really much new. People always complain about that, but like, honestly, personally, I'm just fine with seeing more content for games I'm really interested in, and we definitely saw that here, plus a few unexpected cool announcements. Plus, like, this late in the Switch's life, Switch 2 has got to be coming up sometime soon. Like, come on. Probably won't be anything too major upcoming besides what we've seen already. I'd say this is like a B-tier Direct or so. It's not really great, but it's still pretty good. Yeah, let me know what you thought of this Direct in the comments. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and see you in the next video. Or not if you hate my channel and never want to come back again, but I understand. Bye.